Okay, the first thing, I took my 3 pieces and I had already wrapped them in newspaper and taped this way. Now I have my cardboard there and here, so it looks like I twisted, but that's okay. Then I taped them, I put them in the place that I want them to, and I ran vertical pieces of tape, or horizontal I guess, then wrapped it around so that I have, you see how this piece of tape comes and turns? And I could probably tape it down here, but I'm positioning my arm so that it's in the shape that I want it to be. I did not want to put too much in here because this is like the elbow. And maybe this is a little bit longer, but maybe I could have switched them, but I didn't, so whatever. Anyway, now it's time for applying the paper mache to this. And I saw a thing on the internet that said depending on how thick your glue is, depends on how your ratio is going to be. So this is 4 ounces of glue, and one website said if you use Elmer's, you can use equal parts glue, equal parts water. So 4 ounces of glue and 4 ounces of water. So what I'll do with this, and I'll have measuring stuff for in class, but I'm going to empty as much as it'll empty, and then I'm going to fill this up with water. And first I'm only going to use half of it. I don't want it to get too thin, and I mean, if it does, we can always add glue. I got tons and tons of glue in the closet. So, alright, let me get some water. And so that's about half of it. And I'm just going to stir it up until the water and the glue are all blended together. Okay, so I don't know. Looks good to me. Probably wouldn't hurt to have some extra water in there. I just don't want it to be too thin. The thinner it is, the longer it takes to dry. So there's 2 things you got to keep in mind here. One, we're going to make a huge mess, and so maybe I'll get some plastic tablecloths. 2, your thing's going to be wet while it's drying. So how's it going to stand up and dry? I don't know. Alright, we'll figure that out. I've got 2 sizes of paper I've torn here. Some long ones and some short ones. And I suppose I'll start with the short ones. And all you do, and this is why it's going to be messy, don't wear good clothes. And I'm sure you can see that. I'm going to get it in there. I can use 2 fingers and take the glue off. And then just kind of mold it over this. You're going to end up doing 3 layers, and it might take you might only be able to do 1 layer a day. Alright, so here's the problem. I've got to be able to set it down while I'm getting this paper ready. Well, that's a big mess too. I'm also planning on y'all sharing buckets of glue. When you put these on, put them sort of randomly. Sometimes this one went this way, this one's going like that. My next one I'll go across here. That gives it a stronger foundation. And your paper mache thing, it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be super smooth. So don't worry about the wrinkles and dents and stuff. That's part of what makes it paper mache. And so see, this little part here is not sticking down too well. Like finger painting. And so I'll grab another piece. Put my thing back down. I already see one part that's standing up. I want to make sure I've got glue equally on both sides, not just on the front. I might forget to be checking that other side. So that's another reason not to make it too wet. Not only does it dry slower, it drips more. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. I don't know how I'm going to turn off the camera. I got glue on my fingers. I finished this. I'm going to see what time it is and see how long it takes me to do this arm. Okay. It took about 6 minutes to cover all this. You can see I've got it perched like that to try to keep that wrist bent. I tucked in a cloud of paper mache in here to kind of bend it over. Ran this vertical piece trying to get it to where I want it to, but you can see it's it'll do fine. And so it should dry in that position. You can see how much glue is dripping down here. This is just the first layer. It took about 10 minutes.